Hello and welcome to Rookie Ninjas, where we explore day trading futures on the NinjaTrader platform, reading price action and bringing excitement to your screen and a twinkle to your financial planner's eye. Alright, hello and welcome to another video, part of our Strategy Builder series. This one will be nice and simple. Like most strategies, I wanted to introduce the idea of trying to make money while you sleep. And I found that to look at the market for quite a while, that a lot of times around 4 a.m. we tend to have some sort of shift where the market tends to start trending in a certain direction, right? So in this case, we're trending down. Let's see if we can catch another one. Oh, beautiful. All right, 4 a.m. And from this point forward, we're trending up. Let's see if we can get one more, just as an example. All right, here's 4 a.m. and 4 a.m. is trending down on this day. But how can we take advantage? Do we have to wake up at 4 a.m. to get these trades, or is there an easier way? Well, let's take a look. First, let's start off by opening up our strategy builder. This will be a new strategy. Call this one our 4 a.m. hero. We'll use EMAs or moving averages to see whether we're going to be going long or short. So to make it as simple as possible, we can do two of them. Moving average 1, we'll call this one. We'll leave it set to 1. And then moving average 2. Perfect. Eventually we will need a profit target, which we can set to 100 ticks, and of course we'll need a stop target as well. And let's give ourselves some room. The market tends to move pretty slow overnight, so with these wide ranges, we're going to hopefully give ourselves some room to let the trade breathe a little bit and still give ourselves opportunities to take out profits. Let's also do a couple bulls. Let's see, one to go long. We'll call it longer. Leave it set to false, and then of course our short as well. Call it shorty. Also set to false. Now, I named these two a little bit off from just naming it long or short. Same thing with my moving averages. I used to do the actual moving average that I was using. So if it was an EMA, then I would call it EMA 1 or EMA 2. But I found that with the code, sometimes it gets mixed up if the name that you use is too similar to functions in the system or too similar to indicators as well. So I'm kind of taking a shift and started to try to keep those names as separate as possible, at least while thinking about it. Okay, so we're going to go based off 4 a.m. So we can say something like, when our time series is equal to 4 a.m. So we start trending short this way. We're moving in a bearish direction. This big red bar here is our 4 a.m. bar. So We know that 4 a.m. is the starting point, at least the one that I want to start with. And because it's overnight and we have so much room to kind of play with, let's have this actually set to 4:02 a.m. Yes. So when the time series is equal to 4:02 a.m. and get nice and easy here. This to moving average 1. Okay, and we'll set this one to moving average 2. It's always nice to complicate things, but sometimes it's better to leave things simple. In the case of this particular point where we are in the chart, what we want to see is we want to see our moving average 1. Oh man, sorry about that, guys. Supposed to be set to 1. It's supposed to be set to 2. Apply. Perfect. So this is 4:02 here. And what we can do is make the deciding factor. Let's make it 4:01. So our 1 minute bar at 4 a.m. hit, and immediately following, we're going to go based off this second bar, hopefully as a good guide to which direction the market's going to continue to flow. So in this case, let's look back 1 bar, and EMA 1, if it's going short, will have to be less than our moving average 2. Perfect. Simple. To the point. Let's go ahead and move forward here, and all this is going to do is make our bool true. So we're going to duplicate that set, and obviously we're going to set up our long trade as well. And all we have to change is this and make it greater. Okay. Moving forward, let's go based off where we were before. If we're talking about the same setup we have out here, let's say that if our short bool is true, that's all that needs to happen, and in that case we will enter a short position. Isn't it nice when we keep things nice and simple and to the point? Always remember that when keeping track of your bools, you have to give it some sort of function to make it false afterwards. Otherwise, it'll throw the whole thing off whack. Alright, let's duplicate this tab, set up our long as well. Long position, perfect. And we'll edit this to our long bool. Alright, moving along nicely. Now then, we could make it that simple and then just go ahead and add our profit target. Perfect. And of course our stop loss. Set the value to ticks. Okie dokie. Now, I do want to add a contingency just to tip the odds slightly in our favor. Because with a 100 tick range and a 200 tick range here that we have for our profit and our stop, especially if it's trading overnight, there's a chance that you might not reach your target in either direction. And if you're busy and your mornings are rough, then you don't want to have to worry about going and checking the charts or seeing where it's at or wondering when you should stop. So let's not worry about it. We're going to add one extra input. And we'll call it our exit target. I don't know. Let's make it 10. Now, what we're going to do with that, so let's say we let our strategy run for an hour. And we don't feel comfortable letting it run past that point, right? We're in a trade, and our unrealized P&L, because we're still in a trade, let's say it needs to be greater or equal to that input we just made, our exit target. So essentially, if an hour's passed, if we made at least 10 ticks worth of profit, we don't want to hold any longer. We want to go ahead and exit the trade. This will set it up for us. And of course, go to our order management. Since we've been starting with short positions, let's say exit short position. But before we leave it like that, we're going to have to go ahead and make sure the system knows that the current market position is equal to market position short. So it's 5 a.m., an hour's passed. We have a little bit of profit at least. Let's go ahead and exit our short position. And shoot, how about we duplicate and we start going in 15-minute increments. That way we're going to give ourselves a couple different opportunities to exit these trades. Alright. So we'll set that to 5:30 a.m. Let's duplicate it one more time. Now we can leave it at 5:45 a.m. Perfect. And one final time. Let's make it 6 a.m. Okay. So between 4 a.m. and 5 a.m., essentially we have a chance to maximize our trade, or of course lose it entirely. But starting at 5 a.m. in 15-minute increments, we're going to be looking to just go ahead and exit if we're still in the market. And at 6, we're actually going to not worry about this. We don't want to trade past 6 a.m. So we're actually going to have to duplicate these 5 sets here and also set it up for our long. So instead of being a short market position, it's going to be long. And instead of exiting a short trade, we will be exiting a long position. Beautiful. Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A lot of sets. A lot of sets for such a simple strategy, but when you're using the strategy builder, you're going to be inclined to really dive deep and overthink what you're trying to create. Sometimes the most direct and easy to understand setups work the best. You don't want to confuse the system and how it reads your code. Alright, I think that's about it. So, this is our 4 a.m. hero. Let's go ahead and compile. Perfect. Let's go here to our strategies. Go ahead and remove that one. 4 a.m. hero. Alright. Now let's see how she performs. Nothing. And like most of the strategies we build, our first attempt at compiling it sometimes doesn't always work. But let's see if we can figure out what went wrong. Let's just open up another chart just to be sure. So we're looking at the NQ, last minute, 5 days, perfect. Looks good. Am I going crazy? Or did we just make a buggy code? Strategies, 4 a.m. hero, enabled. Oh, I see now. Looks like I set both my moving averages to 1. So yeah, strategy would never hit. Let's see if that fixes our problem. Beautiful. There's a win. There's another win as well. Looks like that one also performed. Excellent. Now let's take a look at our analyzer and see how this is performing over time. This should be set to 2. We'll leave this set on the NQ, although feel free to try this out on other charts as well, other instruments. This will be showing us between start of the year through April 27th. And let's see how she performs. Interesting. Alright, so we are profitable, but that's after 83 trades. We're only at 4,505, sitting at 71.08% profitability, which is good, but I think our average wins and losses are not looking so good. Let's see if we can fix that a little bit. Maybe instead of risking 200, 150 would be best. Let's make it a little bit better. But that is the beautiful thing about this analyzer. It takes a lot of the guesswork out of it. And go here and go to optimization. Now, what happens if we look for the best possible combination? Let's go 1 through 4, and maybe 2 through, I don't know, 6. And let's go ahead and look at our exit target as well. See if we can't make these results a little bit better. Dang, alright, 7,925, much better. Still sitting at a 73, but if you look here, honestly that looks about the same. What changes? 1 and 3 are best with 19? Interesting, okay. So we'll leave these results. I could have optimized with the profit target and stop target as well, but the more factors you put into your optimization, the longer it takes. The longest that I've ever seen one is, I'm not sure, I think 2 months to download all the possible combinations. Alright, so these updated results. We're sitting at 7,925, which is excellent. Well, let's get creative with our profit target and stop target. do, I don't know, let's do 60 to 350. Take some pressure off and let it go by twos. Stop target, we were at 200. Let's do 50 to, I don't know, I guess 350 as well. This one might take a while. Maybe. Okay. And let's run it. 22,000. Alright, here we are. Looks like we did manage to get up to, uh-oh, don't freeze. We were working on the 4 a.m. hero, and according to our results, 1, 3, looks like 194, and 94, and 19. All right, 9,660, really good. 83 trades, and we were hitting at a 65%. Max winners in a row was 9, and the max losers was 5. Largest losing trade 470 is the max that I would lose. Now this is so close. I always look at the max drawdown because let's say that you have an account or two that you're trying to get funded. On Apex, which is the brokerage that I use, their $50,000 account, which is also the ones that I prefer, they have a max drawdown of 2,500. This one's set to 2,545. Out of curiosity, if we set this to, I don't know, 85 instead, see if that brings down our max drawdown. Makes it higher. Great. Obviously, the biggest thing you're going to want to also go back and look at is going to be, that doesn't look bad. It's going to be your individual trades. Remember that any strategy that you build is useless if you don't take the time to do some analysis with it. Looks like the last 1, 2, 3 days were profitable. So let's download one of these days and see how it performs in a live setting. Paper trading is your best friend. It is always the route to go. And at the end of the day, if you do have something that's profitable, who cares about a couple weeks that you take to backtest it and make sure that it's working properly. We want to see 4, 1. And let's give it, I don't know, 45 seconds. Okay. Make sure that your strategy is enabled, and let's see how she performs. Right on time. We are going short. That's what that looks like. And this trade goes on the 26th. From 4:03 a.m. to stops at 5:01. So let's go ahead and fast forward. A good part with strategies like this one is that sometimes it's best to take your own emotion out of the trade. You start second guessing yourself. You start to want to leave a trade early. You take less profit and you take more loss And at the end of the day, if you're journaling to see how you're trading, then your data is all convoluted, because how can you test a strategy if you don't... Alright, perfect. How are you going to test a strategy if you're not consistent with it? 360 green. Our analyzer said 370, but I was going extremely fast. Close enough. So for the 25th, we profited 970, and the trade finished at 4:39 a.m. Interesting. Let's see how it goes. Profit target 970. Beautiful. One last test. I like to do at least 2 or 3 of these test runs, but if I'm being honest with you, when I have a strategy that I really want to run, I'll go crazy. I'll do months and months of it just to see how it's performing. And then after that, you got to go ahead and add to it live testing as well. Right, this guy is profit 470. Trade finishes at 501. So we're going to be here for about an hour. I wasn't supposed to do that. Darn it. 470, 45. The system's going to have a glitch if you're rushing through your playback data. But regardless, those 3 trades performed well. And I have no doubt that this can actually be optimized even further. But like always, if you're patient enough and maybe you want to just take yourself out of the equation, maybe this strategy is the perfect one for you. Hitting at a 65% and 1 daily trade, 9 consecutive winners with only a maximum of 5 consecutive losers that was notated. That's actually a really good result. Alrighty guys, that's going to do it for this episode. And as always, happy trading.